What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Decoded. It is February 7th, 2025, and what a great day in the market. Before we get started on the charts, there's a couple things I want to say. Number one, buy my book. If you're interested in how to learn how to do this and you cannot be in our Discord with us, pick up the book. It looks just like this. It's on Amazon. It's called The Art of Naked Trading. It's fantastic. It's easy to read. And that, in conjunction with what I teach you in these videos, will absolutely help you become a better trader in that you will make better trading decisions. With that out of the way, the other thing I need to tell you is I was not here at the open this morning. I was at my kid's honor roll ceremony at school today. 4.0 GPA. He's crushing it. Had to be there for him on that one. And because of that, I don't have a live recording of the first 5 minutes, nor do I have any live recordings of my actual trades today, because I also have a rule that if I am not here at the open to trade, I won't trade at all for the day. Now, the reason for that rule is because from 9 o'clock till 9:30 open, I feel like I'm connecting with the chart. I get a feel for how it's moving and this, that, and the other thing. And I've come to find that when I try to trade, having not spent that 30 minutes leading into the open in front of the charts, that I don't typically read it well, and it doesn't usually bode well for me. Now, today, we found the best trades, I would say, were on the chart, all of which before they happened, before I even came on here to do this video, I double checked with everybody in our room saying, do we all agree that we found these trades at least a minute before they were trades? Not a single no. So I'm going to share those trades with you guys because they were bangers. They were bangers. We had people with well over 100% wins. We had people with 25, 36% account growths today. It was a fantastic day. And even though I didn't get to take advantage of any of these trades, I wish I would have, but I love seeing my community members make money. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at these charts and what we were looking for. As I said before, I wasn't here to do call put lines, so I didn't get on the mic until around 9:45 this morning. When I did show up, we were putting in higher lows on SPY. Qs was moving sideways, but staying above support at 531.32. And I saw that ADD was starting to recover from the drop that it had in the morning. So I was telling people, guys, you shouldn't be looking for puts. We're looking for calls because we're putting in higher lows on the Qs. ADD is moving up. Higher lows on SPY. ADD is moving up, and Qs are holding support. Okay? Now, once we got up to a point, we realized that, man, these Qs are really struggling at this 531.91 line. And SPY was nearing a resistance, but still up here. And I had said, loud and clear, if you are in calls, you need to get out of those calls if the Qs close below 531.32. The support that was the reason you were staying in those calls and the reason that they were continuing to work. And I said, if we close below that line, now this was somewhere during the printing of these candles here, 2-3 minutes in advance, I would be looking for Qs to move all the way down to 530.14. That's a $1.50 drop. We'll call it a $1.15, $1.20 drop. Excellent money-making opportunity. And what happened? Lo and behold, and I said it, I said, guys, if I was trading, this would be the one I'd be willing to take when this happens. We get that close below that line. Okay, we were coming off of 2 red candles on ADD at that time. We're looking for a move straight down to this support because it's the only one that existed in regular trading hours. Okay, now, several people took this trade. Several people got out when we got down to this line here, and that's okay. Probably well advised because we were getting close to 10 o'clock. We don't like to hold winning trades through 10 o'clock candles because we don't know which way those candles are going to go. However, we do have people that take the risk with a stop loss in place so that maybe they can be a part of something like this. Now, this very well could have gone the other way and stopped you out, and you would have given up some profit to do it. Or you got lucky and it moved down. Let's call it what it is. It's luck because we have no idea which way the thing's going to go with the reports. In this case, there was a fair number of people who held and took that risk, and boy, were they thankful that they did. What a nice, huge, quick move down. All right, so that was trade number one. 10 minutes after I got there, we found this setup. It was fantastic. And then we see ADD drilling down. Okay, we pull back to resistance. I said, guys, Qs, SPY, pulling back to resistance. This is the best time to buy puts. If we close above this resistance, you want to consider taking yourself out of the trade. Nice tight stop area. What are we aiming for? We're aiming for not only this to stay resistance, but also be a lower high, which would likely take us through this support instead of holding like it did. And then we'd be aiming for the next support down. Well, we closed through the next support down and we got down to the next support. Also, at the same time, as you all know, when we hit both support or resistance at the same time, it's always worth considering taking your profits. Okay, so we hit support here while SPY was touching support here to the penny. Great trade. Okay, so we got in at 605.58. We got out at 603.77. Guys, I don't know. That's almost a $2 move. That's huge. Big win. It was fantastic. Likewise, we put in a lower high, didn't produce a move through support, so we weren't looking at puts here, although because of the pink line, let's be honest. But instead, we held the support that we came off of. Fine. We closed above and took out the most recent lower high. And I said, guys, this thing's more likely to head back up to 527.77 than it is to go down. So if you're looking for a reason to buy puts, this is not the reason to buy puts. You don't have to buy calls, but this thing's more likely to go up. And what we want to stay above is this. We want to turn this resistance into support. As you can see, we stopped on it here. We opened below it here, closed back above it, and we ran up. Now we got within 7 cents of our line, got a pullback, put in a higher low, and ultimately made it right to where we wanted to go on both charts. So if you're waiting for the exact line to get hit, you had the opportunity because we were pennies away from it here. Where the hell did it go? Pennies away from it here. Pennies away from it here. Okay? If you didn't take your profits there, yes, this pullback would have sucked. We found support on Qs, maintained a higher low, and we were able to push back up to the actual line shortly thereafter. So congratulations to those of you who took that trade. And then we pull back to support. Now, the only thing I could say about this is people were wondering, would you buy calls here since we were kind of in a channel? And I said, I would not buy calls here this time because lower highs are bad for calls. Now, admittedly, we pulled back, this support held, and it bounced right back up and went to resistance. So I wouldn't have been in this trade. That would have gotten me stuck eating this gigantic shit sandwich out of nowhere. That right there, you cannot prepare for those. You cannot prepare for those. So if you happen to be in a call there, you did nothing wrong. You can't prepare for those. Now, depending on how this candle printed, a stop loss might not have even saved you on that. Okay, because if it happens too fast, the stop won't trigger until it slows down enough to catch, right? But if I'm not mistaken, this thing wicked down really fast, sucked back up, and then worked its way back down again. So you may have been saved by a stop loss. But then again, if you're not in calls because you wouldn't have been in them off of lower highs anyway, you didn't have to worry about that. With that said, the final trade that we took, and we called this out right before I was getting off the mic, I've been telling people since we found support down here for the second time, I said, guys, the more times we touch this, the more it looks juicy for me to want to take puts should we get below it. What are we looking for if we get below it? We're looking for the move to go 90 cents below, meaning we want to go from the purple line to the orange line. Now, the reason this purple line is here is because I wanted it to be obvious to people who got in late or whatever that if we get through that line, we're looking for this to go down. And what happens? We are coming off lower highs. We were in a tight little channel here. And I was asked by, obviously, a co-author of my book, Jonathan, if you're watching, he says, if you were going to take a trade, would you take this trade? And I said, yeah, I would take this trade. I think that gave him all the confidence he needed to take the trade himself. Got in, we saw a lower high, great opportunity. We're going to assume that support's going to break instead of hold. You got into the move. Now, the very first candle was over 50-cent drop. I had people just get out on that candle because, well, that's a $200 return on an SPX contract. And then I said, if you're holding on to the puts, waiting for the orange line, we need to stay below the trend line. We need to stay below the purple line. All those things stay true. And we are hoping for this thing to get down to the orange line at 523.47. Now, without making it obvious or blowing it up too much, these lines were drawn at 8 o'clock this morning. I don't know if it could be done any more accurately than that. I have an alert on that line and everything. That is here on SPY. So SPY was almost down to support, but because we took our entry based on the Qs, we need to take our exit based on the Qs, and it worked out. So that was another 90+ cent move that worked out exactly how we hoped it would. Now this support down here, as it's still printing today, turned into a pretty strong level of support. So if you're out there still trading, you're going to want to wait for candle closes below that, if we candle close below that, and then know where your next target low is, because right now, this is the new purple line. Okay? But that's pretty much it, guys. So we got to find a few very, very good trades today. The chart was behaving just like we would want it to, short of that big red out of nowhere candle that you can't anticipate. But it was a good day. It was a good day. It's a great way to go into the weekend. So if you had a good day today, leave it alone. Let it stay good. Don't put your money at risk anymore. Remember, the more times you swim in the pool of sharks, the more likely you are to eventually get bitten. The stock market is the pool of sharks. Stay out of there after you've been fortunate enough to take your first swim and come out unscathed. All right? And with that said, I hope you found some useful information in this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to join our Discord community, well, we'd love to have you. There is a link down below. And if you'd like to read an outstanding book about how we do what we do every day, well, here's what it looks like. And Amazon is where you get it. There is a link for that down below as well. And I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I hope you had a great day in the markets today. Till Monday, I love you. See you.